Okay, here we go. This is an exciting video. This video is for Joel. Shout out to Joel.
This thing with
It's
children.
Paul Washer, and he is a closet Arminian. He's been a closet Arminian for a long time. You can pray and ask God about that, or you can just
So
listen to him.
they all sit in
But
your
I want to
service.
react to this video, and there's some stuff going on here, the first part, but you could skip ahead if you want to see him talk about how he's not really a Calvinist. But I'll explain it as we go.
Wonderful. Go to them.
Sorry, let's
This
start
thing
over.
with children. So they all sit in your service. Wonderful. Go to them and ask them, can you explain to me the doctrine of justification or anything that I just said in this hour-long sermon of mine? I would go to people and say, did you understand that sermon? Can you speak it back to me? Go to children. Tell me what you learned. Nothing? Okay. I need to change something, because you will know everything. You'll know them by their fruit, but you'll also know your style of ministry.
That's right. You'll know yourself by their fruit. I have to work on this myself. Sometimes I overload the audience with a bunch of stuff that's way too fast, way too smart. And sometimes it's best to just dumb it down. It depends on the audience, right? If you're talking to 2 or 3 people and they haven't looked away for 5 minutes and they're just, you could tell they're listening and they're picking up every word. There's no look of confusion. They're just absorbing it. That's good. As a general rule, that's good. They're interested, and that's great. If you have an audience that's looking away, looking around, it could be good to change. Maybe you have the wrong audience. Different talks for different flocks. But, moving your voice up and down, stuff like that, hitting them with different doctrines. Or maybe what you're saying just really isn't that important. They're not very interested. 1 Corinthians 9:20 talks about being different things to different people. I have a completely different style with atheists, and I'm I would say I'm below average at talking to atheists, converting them to Christianity or whatever, or Christ or whatever. I think atheists are a joke, so I treat them like a joke. But some people don't. They don't treat them like a joke. They treat them like human beings. To me, they're a joke, right? So I treat them like that, and I need to work on that. So pray for me with the atheists. But my favorite people to talk to are lukewarm Christians, people who believe Jesus rose from the dead. They don't have a single Bible verse memorized. I love those people the most. And of course, everyone loves, super mature believers and stuff. But for those guys, I'm more interested in learning a thing or two from them, because they obviously know a lot that I don't, right? So I'm working on more extracting that from them. But yeah, this is great because Paul Washer is a very gifted speaker, and even he can fall flat on the wrong audience. And he kind of preaches a similar way to a bunch of different people, to a bunch of different groups. I tend to have more variance, and I will preach completely differently to different groups, right? But Paul Washer, maybe not as much. And he's saying the fruit, the most important thing is putting a smile on God's face when you preach. But the second most important thing is is the second greatest commandment, is the second most important thing. And that's what he's talking about here. But listen to this last part for those of you coming in for the Calvinist stuff, because I think the title of this video is probably going to be more around Paul Washer, not being a Calvinist, because that's what really made me want to make this video. But the first part of this video is great too. Listen to this, though. Listen to this.
I'm going to tell you something that make you, where all of you say, that guy's never coming back. I know right now an Arminian church that doesn't.
And notice how he's look at his hands here. He's saying, let me get them to doubt, or let me get them to doubt the Calvinism a little bit. Look at his hands here.
I'm going to tell you something that make you, where
he's nervous here. He says, I'm about to come out of the closet as an Arminian. Here we go. He's like, you can see by the nonverbals here.
You'll say, that guy's never coming.
That guy's never coming back. And Paul Washer's thinking the same thing. They might be paying him. He's like, I want to preach here again. God's putting it on my heart to tell these guys Arminianism's closer to the truth than Calvinism. If you had to pick. I mean, obviously they're both false, right? Well, maybe not obviously, but they're both pretty bad, right? But the Arminian one, just if you guys don't know what Arminianism is, it's just the free will option. The Calvinism, if you don't know what that is, it's monergism. It's, God gets the credit for everything. God predestinationism. If you don't know what these terms are, okay? But take a look at this. Paul Washer supposedly is a Calvinist. Look what he says here.
Back. I know right now an Arminian church that doesn't like Calvinism, and yet when I see the instruction of their children in the basic truths of the faith, it outshines at least most of the things I'm aware of. So the question is...
This one's going to make you guys mad. So there's these Arminian teachers, and they're like way better than us. And it outshines any of the Calvinist stuff.
An Arminian church that doesn't like Calvinism, and yet when I
he doesn't want to say, he's not talking about himself or anything.
See the instruction of their children in the basic
they bear better fruit. They're better fruits
of the faith.
there. There's
It
more
outshines
truth there. It outshines
at least most of the things I'm aware of.
Most things that I'm aware of. That's hilarious.